Sacred knowledge from the stars. Vedic truth heals ancient scars. Mantras clear the karmic way, bringing light to guide each day. Let the planets show their signs as the cards and stars combine. Ancient wisdom flows through time. Cards reveal the grand design. Om Namah Shivaya divine. Let the cosmic rhythms align. Om Shanti Om.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my once weekly show. My name is Michelle Marie, and I am the owner and operator of Astrological Tarot. You can find me at astrologicaltarot.com. And before I get into your live readings, I want to go over the week's astrology so that you can all be prepared for what's to come. Now, the heavens are reflecting many of the stories that are unfolding in real time for us this week. We're entering a more emotionally charged week in June. On the 7th of June, which was yesterday, the moon joined Rahu, the north node in Aquarius. That began the fourth of 5 Kalsarpa periods in 2026. In Vedic astrology, Kalsarpa periods often coincide with collective intensity, uncertainty, polarization, a little bit of fear, and feelings that events are moving faster than our ability to process them. So if you look at world events, we can certainly see those themes playing out for us. There are ongoing conflicts involving Iran, Israel, Lebanon, Ukraine, and the United States, and they continue to dominate all of the international headlines. There's tensions around the Strait of Hormuz, and they remain very elevated, creating concerns around our global energy supplies, food costs, inflation, and economic instability. Diplomacy continues, but so do military actions, and they create a very intense climate of uncertainty. And that was brought to us by the 2 eclipses that we had in February and March. And I discussed that in earlier videos. Now, at the same time, there are also still discussions around the Epstein files, and they continue to generate public interest because it involves the elites on an international scale. It brings about skepticism regarding our institutions, our transparency, and especially accountability with those who have the power and the money. So again, these questions about who holds power, who is protected, that remains hidden, is going to come to the surface, especially in August when we have those eclipses, and I'll get into more of that as we get closer. So we're seeing an expansion of artificial intelligence as well. There's massive investments in data centers. There's debates about executive authority. There's economic uncertainty. There's growing concerns about the future and direction of our society. And these are all very Rahu, aka North Node themes. Technology, disruption, innovation, and rapid change, which in Aquarius is all new stuff. So from a Jyotish perspective, Rahu doesn't necessarily create problems. He magnifies whatever he touches. So he amplifies desire, ambition, obsession, and collective fascination. If you look in your chart to where he is, that's where you're a little obsessed. So the remedy for Rahu is not panic. The remedy is clarity. So Swami Sivananda Saraswati often reminded his students, he's a yogic sage who has attained self-realization, adapta, just accommodate. And that is the best message that we can expect for dealing with this. 3 simple words, but they're totally relevant during Rahu period. So when the world feels a little chaotic, the spiritual seeker learns flexibility rather than resistance, which is why my husband and I are living out of suitcases and exploring the world. So I also want to bring up the Bhagavad Gita. My favorite is, of course, written by Sivananda Saraswati. Here's a copy here. You guys can take a screenshot. There it is. Okay. It's one of my favorite translations. So you have the right to action alone, but never its fruits. So in other words, we're responsible for our effort, but not controlling every outcome. And that was very freeing for me because I struggle with anxiety. I don't know if you guys do. But in other words, we're not we're not responsible for all of that. We can just be responsible for our own inner circle and how we handle it. And the teaching, this is very important this week, because when Rahu stirs all this collective anxiety, it's right on my moon, it's something much more beautiful is unfolding for us. So on June 8th and 9th, depending on where you are in the world, we have some really great energy coming our way. Venus is joining Jupiter in Cancer. Venus is, it's Cancer is the sign of home and mother and security, and Jupiter's exalted in Cancer. So this is good. This is one of the most nourishing combinations that we can experience all year. So the headlines are all conflict, and Jupiter and Venus are reminding us that healing is still available for us. If you focus on, especially between now and June 25th, family, friendship, community, compassion, and your own spiritual practices, you're going to be okay, because Cancer asks us, who do you care for? What truly nourishes your soul? Where is your home? And that's what Jonathan and I are doing. We're living out of suitcases, but when Jupiter enters my 4th house next year, we'll have a better idea where we're going to belong. I'm waiting for all this stuff to suss out, because we're getting eclipsed and we got a Saturn opposition going on. So it reminds Jonathan and I that in difficult times, that beautiful divine grace still exists. And the great sages never taught that spirituality removes challenges. They taught that spirituality changes how we meet them. And so I looked at the Chandogya Upanishad, and it says, Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that. This same divine consciousness, it sustains the stars. It also sustains every single living being on this planet. So when we forget that truth, our fear grows, our anxiety starts to spike. But when we remember it, wisdom returns. We can relax a little more. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed by the news cycle, the political battles, the economic concerns, the climate events, or just general uncertainty regarding the future, this week and the rest of the year is asking you to find your center. This is not, do not ignore reality, okay? But meet that reality with steadiness of purpose. That's exactly what Jupiter in Cancer is teaching us. Nourish your roots, strengthen your foundations, take care of your family, take care of your health, take care of your spiritual life, because those are the things that sustain us when the world feels unstable. I mentioned this on Helen Irish Granny's channel. Benjamin Netanyahu is eclipsed. Donald Trump is eclipsed. Ted Bundy was eclipsed. Jeff Bezos is eclipsed. These are King Charles is eclipsed. These are all of the leaders coming in. Eclipses mean that they've been compromised, okay, at birth. So we're dealing with leaders that are being ridden by dark forces, okay? And because of that, I'm going to give you guys some Vedic remedies so that you can be remain grounded as some of these forces start to take over. Because if your anxiety's been a little high, these are just a few simple remedies that you can do, okay? So this is a great chant that you can do. This is Narayana. He's on my altar. Isn't he beautiful? I mean, come on. Look at that face. You can chant this every day if you want to, 108 times daily via Amala. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. And he is basically the holder of the universe. So yeah, you can't go wrong there. And then you could also read a chapter a day of the Bhagavad Gita. My husband and I read this in the morning, and it really helps us stay grounded. Okay. You can offer water to the sun at sunrise, because the sun provides all of our nourishment. Without the sun, we wouldn't have plants, we wouldn't be alive. You could feed birds or animals. You can donate food to someone in need. You can spend time near water while practicing gratitude, but just try to reduce any unnecessary media consumption just for a few hours each day, especially if you're really plugged in. And observe silence for at least 10, we call this mauna, for at least 10 minutes daily. Just zip it, okay? But just remember, your nervous system was not designed to process global crises 24 hours a day. Sometimes the most spiritual thing that we can do is just turn off our phones and the news and chant. And that's what Jonathan and I do to get through this. So as we move into June 15th, we're going to arrive at a new moon in Mrigashira. And this is where the sun enters Gemini. So Mrigashira is the cosmic seeker. It wants answers. It wants to understand what lies beyond the horizon. My Rahu's here. So it's kind of my obsession is studying. So we can expect some curiosity, some important conversations, new information, shifting narratives to emerge in the weeks ahead. This new moon marks the end of Adhika Masa, which is an extra lunar month dedicated to spiritual practice, reflection, and purification. So the question then becomes, what have you learned about yourself in the last month? What are you ready to leave behind? Before we begin tonight's readings, I do want to go into a bit of a quick announcement. I'm going to be joined again by our wonderful friend Helen of Irish Granny Tarot, and we're going to continue exploring current events, collective energies, and spiritual lessons unfolding in these extraordinary times. I'm going to do a recording with her in a couple of days, and then she's going to release it. I'll also, she'll be on my show next week too. And our special discussion is going to be on artificial intelligence, what it's going to mean for society, how humanity can navigate these enormous technological changes with wisdom rather than fear. So you don't want to miss either show. And I have a bit of an insider perspective because my husband and I have a company that worked as a Google partner since 2008. I joined him in 2010, full-time in 2013. So we have insider people and perspectives on AI because it's part of what we still do as a living. So you don't want to miss that. So I want to get to your questions. Know that tips receive priority. Thank you for reminding everyone, Venus. And we'll go in order received after that. So please don't get upset if you're like, I was first. It's just how the show works. So just please make sure that you're present when your name is called. And let's just see what the cards and the stars and spirit has for us tonight. So I'm sending you all love, Om Shanti, and I cannot wait to get to your questions. Okay, let me say hi to all of you in the audience here. Lovely Venus is here, the mod with the most. Thank you so much. Please post all questions in caps for ease of visibility. And yeah, they take priority. Thank you so much. Minimum $5 USD. Thank you so much. Sybil is here. It is lovely to see you, Sybil. Angel Spirit Love is here. Lovely to see you. Jonathan's here. Oh, say hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan. No radio show.
He says hi, Jonathan. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love him. Okay. Let's see. Some Patience is here. It is lovely to see you, Some Patience. Let's see. Oh, Susan's here. It's lovely to see you, Susan. I was just thinking about you the other day because I know you like having get-togethers. We're actually preparing for FIFA here in Mexico City. So we got some supplies and things ready to have people over. It's like I had to figure out what mezcal was for the first time. It was very interesting. My Spanish, we have a Spanish teacher here and we have some friends. Yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Thank you so much. Happy Monday, XO Gene XO. Good to see you. I love your lion there. That's great. And Jonathan says, thanks for joining us. Glitch Mina is here. Good to see you. Love your BMW. And okay, I got your question in. You got it. And let's see. Susan Gonzalez, welcome. I got your question in. And James Joyce is here. Lovely to see you, James Joyce. Welcome. And Prazir, good to see you. And then, let's see. Also fun, my handle is Some Patience, but Patience is my name. Oh, that's cool. I love that. I didn't know that. That's great. Oh, Zachary, I love Jesus. I love that you love him too. And all love here. Thank you, Venus. Oh my goodness. And sometimes the adventure brings incredible memories. I completely agree. Yes. Okay. And then let's see. Oh, Deb Masonry. Actually, you said please do Scorpio. So if you go to my channel, I did all readings by sign for June, and I've created chapters for that. And I did it for Jupiter and Cancer, and I also did it for June astrology. So if you go and look at that and just click on Scorpio, because I already have the chapters done, you can definitely get your reading because I already did that video. So, yep. All right. And yes, I do them all. So if you look at those videos, I already covered all of the astrology by sign for the month. And I did it for Jupiter in sidereal Cancer, and I also did it for the month of June. The Jupiter is going to be in Cancer until June 25th, so of next year. So that's going to be a big one. And then ready to leave behind rodents. Oh, Rachel, it's lovely to see you, my dear. I'll go ahead and you can put your question in. Delphi, lovely to see you, my dear. Some patience, general question, you got it. Angel Spirit Love, you got it. Garnet's here, lovely to see you, Garnet. And yes, fun, I know. I'm learning so much about Mexico City. They are really family-oriented and all about partying here, which is really great. And then Pink Cadillac, welcome. I'll get you in the queue. All right. Bordeaux fan, lovely to see you. Okay, some patients have a third soldier procedure. Okay, I'll go ahead and get your question in. Ooh, falling off that porch was something else for you. I did not get your question, Rachel. I got the rat comment, but I didn't get the question. Sybil, I'll get your question in. And then Susan, I'll get your question in. And let's see. And then, oh, that's sweet. Thank you, Trey. I think that's a compliment. Lovely to see you. Yeah, so you guys, I'm actually going to get my hair done on the right before Helen's show. And so I'm going for something a little more vintage. So it's going to be fun. There's a Rock Your Hair studio. It's a 1950s style hair studio here in Mexico City. And I am so excited to let them have a little fun with my hair. So I'm going to look a little different next week. But yeah, this is, as you can tell, it's curls, but it's a little longer. So I'm going to do something a little 50s, a little fun. So yeah, I'm having fun because I can afford to get my hair done in Mexico. I couldn't back in Seattle. It was too much money. So, oh, thank you, some patients. Yeah, I actually, it's very fun. It's very pin-up and you know, it's like with little Rose, and it's very World War II, I guess as I should say. It's kind of like with the red lipstick and the F.U. Hitler kind of look. So I'm kind of excited about it. I think it's appropriate for the times. But did I get Jean's question? Okay, Rachel, you want to, okay, I got your question. Jean. All right, XO Jean. I think I did get her question. Let me see. Yeah, I did. Coming towards your connection with I. You got it, girl. All right. Okay, so the lovely Rachel is the first tipper, and then we have Susan. And then I go in order, guys. So if you want me to spend a little more time on your question, go ahead and tip. It's $5 minimum. It's not a whole lot, and I'll give you a little extra time. But it helps the channel because I pay money for all of this. So, all right. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate the energy exchange. And yes, Jean, I did get your question. Oh, thank you, Susan. I know. I did not get my hair done from 2018 until moving here to Mexico City. Yeah. So, and then I got that shorter cut, and now I'm going to go for something a little more fun because I'm telling you, just take a 0 off. That's what you get in Mexico. It's like, and the artists here really know what they're doing. So I'm very, very excited. So, and you're all for the class. Yeah, that's fun. It's such a bargain. Yeah, it really is. I tip them really well. And they're just like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, you have no idea how much money I'm saving. You know, I'm just the Uber Eats guys like me, especially when I was going through my Moctezuma's Revenge. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm still going through it. Like it's crazy. But because I couldn't send Jonathan out because he'll get lost, I relied on delivery services. And they love me because I tip so well. And I'm just like, yay. And so it's like I get my orders faster. And sometimes they'll even like take the elevator and deliver them upstairs, which is really good because it was really bad, you guys. So yeah, I'm able to give so much here because I'm not like counting every single penny. And I mean, I'm telling you guys, I put on almost 20 pounds since moving to Mexico. I was under 100 pounds where we used to live. I look so much better. My curves are back. Oh, I do not look like a skeleton anymore. It's so great. So, yeah. All right. Oh, Pink Cadillac. I'll go ahead and get your, thank you for your third. Thank you so much for your tip, dear. All right, here we go. So we're going to get to Rachel's question first. I need to decide about Moth. Oh, the timing isn't great. I'm at tour at the end of June for 9 days. He's a nice dog, but he's from a bad situation. I saw the photos. That's what Rosie was in, sweetie. We got her from actually it was a laboratory. She was in a rabbit cage for the first year of her life. And she has like the little scars on her paws to prove it. And she was just decimated. And so we had to get her a lot of veterinary stuff. It was a mess, but she is the most polite, sweetest dog on the planet. And the reason they were doing all these experiments on her was because she has no genetic diseases. Like we had a full panel done on her DNA wise, and dogs that come out of those situations usually have a low disease profile, which is good. So she came back, it was like they tested for over 240 diseases genetically. She didn't have any, which is why she was basically used as a little lab rat. But she is the sweetest dog we've ever owned. She is a rescue, but she gets along with every single dog in Mexico that we meet out here, minus the pit bull that tried to attack her in the hallway, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, so I'm all about rescue. I am kind of excited, but I want to see if you're ready for this because that's the most important thing. Your heart needs to be ready to accept a new baby into your life. Okay. Okay. Just let everybody know I do spend more time on those who tip because it's an energy exchange and I want to honor that. Oh, hello. We got a flyer. Oh, okay. Don't be afraid, change. Got it. Okay, that's not there. Oh. Oh. That's sweet. Okay. Oh. All right, Miss Rachel. Oh. So the main energy that I got in and around this is that, my dear, it is completely up to you, but you could provide this baby with a lot of security, a lot of love, in a beautiful home to grow up in, because I know that you are one of the best dog moms I've met. It's one of the things that I really appreciate about you is that you put so much of your heart into the little ones. And I'm right there with you. So, okay, so the first card I got was Aquarius. This is your 7th house in the sidereal calculation because you're a Leo ascendant there. So this tells me that this would be a beautiful relationship. It'll take you kind of outside of the rut that you've been in for a little bit. Okay, this would be Capricorn in the Western. All right, so it's a pretty good match for you. You're gonna emotionally see each other, is what that tells me. Then I got Death, but it came up reversed. Do not fear change, especially in this arena. There's a bit of a fear of the unknown. It's because you're gripping onto an outdated situation, aka Sir Ollie, and the relationship that you have with him. So don't be afraid to start a relationship with Moth, okay? Then, my dear, I got the beauty card. You are going to bring so much beauty and love and life into this little guy's life. Big guy's life, I should say, because he is a little big. But because he has been in this situation, he understands that any little thing that he gets is going to be the best. You know, Urvashi was a beautiful divine nymph in Indra's court, and she fell in love with Arjuna. So but he refused her advances. And so she cursed him so he would lose his virility. And Indra softened the curse so it would only last a year. But she confronted her desires and what she needed. So this tells me that Moth is going to really appreciate what you provide them, okay? But it's going to be beauty at a soul level, okay? I see you getting along really well with this puppy. Now, the main energy that I got, and this is what I got from Ganesha, is it's going to take a little bit of concentration on your part. Spirit will support you to solve problems regarding trying to acclimate Moth into the new environment. And you can benefit from many inventive forces that are going to maintain your work with him with awareness and focus. It's also going to open up friendships. It's going to open up relationships for you because you're going to be dealing with a rescue. So if you act consciously and you see this as a friendship, as a relationship that you're ready for, it is going to, and you stay focused on this Moth is going to bring you a lot of love. Okay, so take the time to research Moth's background, keep a practical approach toward training, and remain as objective as possible, and reach out to others to help you with Moth, because the way that you interact with people in your life is going to reflect on your relationship with this new puppy. So it's important to, you always know this, treat others the way that you would like to be treated. And Ollie went out with steak dinners and birthday parties. He had a bar mitzvah. I mean, you love this dog. So this dog will love you. He'll love the security that you bring him. He'll appreciate you even more if you're able to put your focus on Moth. Okay, so that's the most important thing. I know that you have a little bit of a time constraint there, but it is important that training is part of that. Okay, so even if you have to hire someone like a dog walker or something like that to train him while you're gone, that is highly recommended. Or just putting off the adoption for another week until you have that bonding time is important. But I also understand that it's kind of like bringing home a newborn baby. You want to have them up against your skin. You want them feeding. You want them feeling your warmth. That's what is bringing a new dog into your home. You don't want to provide too much instability in the beginning. So make sure that you're working with someone to make sure that Moth feels that material security, especially in a new environment, and it's fully supported. Okay. And you'd love to put it off until you get back. Yeah, you could. It just depends on the owners and everything else. Like, I would recommend putting down a deposit and saying, look, I'm going to be on tour. Can you please look after Moth while I'm gone? I'm going to put down a deposit and everything else, and then I will be back because I want to give this baby the best life possible, the most stable life possible. Okay, that's why I'm apprehensive. He's getting used to being touched. Oh God, Rosie was like that. Just to let you know, like one of Fox's favorite foods was called duck stick, and it's like this giant jerky stick that we got at the dog food store. Now, Jonathan and I are vegetarians, but I make gourmet meat for my babies, okay, because they have different karma. And so, and I'm a cook. I'm the cook in the family. And so all of their meals are like human grade, like gourmet meals, okay? And so there's this thing called duck stick. It's a jerky stick. It was very organic. And I pulled it out when she first came, and it was a little long, and she screamed and ran under the kitchen cabinets and was just like screaming and wet herself because she thought I was going to beat her with it. And then I found out when I got the broom out to sweep, she flipped out again. And I went, she's been beaten with a broom. So I had to be careful with anything long that I was holding for months, because she would literally like scream at the top of her lungs and go into a corner. And then when I took her to the vet, he goes, she's got scarring on her paws. She was probably kept in rabbit cages. I actually brought her to a friend's house who had an actual like cage with a rabbit feeder, and she like jumped in the cage and started drinking water out of it. And I just went, oh my God, this poor dog. So it's going to take some adjustment. So what I would recommend doing is put a down payment down and say, this is my baby. If you really want Moth, I'm going to put a down payment down, and I'll even pay you a little extra to take care of Moth while I'm gone. And then that way, when you come back, you can give Moth your full attention, because that's huge. Rosie wasn't eating when we met her. She was under 4 pounds. She's 9 pounds normally, which is what she is now, because I make her little gourmet meals and everything. But she required a ton of just love and security. I mean, I held her in the bed at night. She jumped up on our bed, which had risers on it. And she was just this little Chihuahua mix. And she managed to do that. She was so craving attention, touch, and I feel that most rescue dogs are like that. I've rescued dogs from puppy mills, from laboratories. They need a lot of touch. They need a lot of interaction, but at their pace. So it's up to the rescue. Yeah, I completely agree. But if you give them the money ahead of time, because rescues are always desperate for money, speaking from experience, working with rescues, and you say, I don't want to take on Moth until I get back from my tour, so that I can give Moth the best introduction into my new world as possible. I think they'll understand. Dog wasn't abused, just severely neglected. That's a form of abuse, treated like livestock. She was treated like a lab animal, okay? Feral and a stud, yeah, just being bred. She was actually pregnant when they rescued her, and she was barely a year old. So anyway, some of the ways that people treat animals are just insane, and especially Chihuahuas, because they think they're easy to handle and they can, do all kinds of things with them. Don't get me started on dog fight rings and Chihuahuas. It's just, anyway. I had to rescue one of those. That was fun. So what I'm trying to say to you is that you want to be there 24/7 at the beginning, so that you can create a schedule and a routine for Moth. This is when we eat. This is when we go outside to go potty. This is when we go for our walkies. This is when we go to the dog park. This is when I eat. This is when you eat. We eat when Rosie eats. When we're eating, Rosie's eating. When I'm snacking, I get cheese out for her. Okay? Like, we're basically vegans, but she's got the cheese, she's got the meat. She feels like she's part of the family. That's one of the best things that you can do for Moth. And food, especially for a neglected dog, is one of the best ways to really bond with them. The foster can't keep him, but I can talk to the rescue. Okay. He doesn't understand humans, but he likes dogs a lot. Yeah. He's already crate trained. Oh my gosh, Rosie was crate trained too. The only time she had an accident was when she thought she was going to be abused or hit with a broom. And we never, ever hurt this. We don't do that in this house. But she came to us with that trauma. Okay. So he likes shredded cheese. Sprinkle a little bit of it on his food. Oh my gosh. Oh, and can you get me the Purina packets? They're in the top of Rosie's. So whenever we have to move, sometimes she'll get a little anxiety. And these little Purina packets, okay, it's in her bag in the closet, babe. Just bring me her travel bag that we use for the airline. And I'm going to show you something that will help with his tummy as he gets acclimated to his new environment. Because Jonathan and I have been moving around a lot. And Rosie, she has a lot of anxiety in her colon. And she'll either get diarrhea or something like that. And so these little food packets that we got from the vet really helped with her tum-tum. So let me see if I can find it here. Thank you, baby. All right, this is her little medical pack that we use for travel. It's got our antibiotics in it. It's got everything in it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Purina Pro Plan Fortiflora, especially if you're changing the diet. Another thing you're going to do is find out what the favorite snacks are. Bring the food that they've been feeding him home and mix it into the new food that you're making. Because I know that you used to make food for Ollie. We do the same thing for Rosie. Okay. All right. It's going to be expensive to get his stomach stapled to prevent the bloat. Yeah. That's why I just recommended that, because I felt stomach pain when I tapped into him, which is very, very common with neglected dogs in our experience. And Jonathan has also saved kitties and feral cats as well. So, and Pink Cadillac, I got your question in. You keep having breakdowns. It's very sad all week. I'm nervous. Honey, no, they're not jealous. They're actually part of the same species. When Bogey died, the night he died, he died actually at, was it 10:30 in the morning at the vet's office. We came home And that night, a coyote came right up to our glass door, looked at us, and peed right where Bogey peed. And incoming Bogey was a lot like a coyote. He was wild. He was fun. He was full of joy. And that was God literally saying to us, God, Goddess, the divine, I'm coming back. And he did go out on the south path, and Bogey's rosy. So they're not jealous. They literally appreciate all the canine species or feline species or whatever species you have in your home, recognize what you're doing for their race, for their species, and they recognize you for it. Okay, so he's not going to be jealous. He's going to be proud. Okay. And he might, yeah, he'll have an issue with stomach stuff. That's why I recommended the Fortiflora, Purina Fortiflora. Okay, it's excellent. And they love it. They love the taste of it. Most neglected dogs have this problem. Having worked with shelter employees and rescue dogs myself, it's one of the best things that you can do to introduce him to his new environment and help his tummy. Okay, it's just some probiotics and good things to help him acclimate. Okay. And some patient says, as a rescuer, one of the best tricks I've learned is to pick a song. Oh, Rachel, this is perfect for you. Some patients, Rachel is a musician, a professional one. She has millions of views on YouTube. She's amazing. You can stand to listen to for hours. It's something calm and peaceful. Play it when you're with him. Oh my gosh. He will learn to associate the music with love and safety. Anytime you do anything stressful for him, play it, and he will better understand that it is only unknown and not unsafe. Some patients, are you a little psychic, my dear? Because Rachel is a musician. So thank you for that. That is so appreciative. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And yes, you do need to make peace with his death. I totally get that. I told Jonathan, actually this morning, I said, I had you when I lost Bella, who was the little love of my life. She was my Ollie. You had to come home alone to an apartment. I can't imagine going through that much grief by myself in an empty house. My heart goes out to you, and I still miss her. It never goes away because they're a part of us. Okay. So know that in inviting another piece of yourself into another little being's heart, it's not going to fix anything regarding your relationship with Ollie. But what it does do is it opens the door for you to love again. Okay. So, oh, Shem, lovely to see you. I'll get your question in. We'd like tumor or major issues. Mom Poodle has issues, seem to be in the cheese. I can do that. Okay. Well, we can ask that for another time, but what I recommend is just getting a basic DNA test after you get them. And then what you can do is you can just plan around that, the diet, the exercise, everything. Rosie had 0 genetic diseases, but I still had a full DNA panel done on her so I could figure out what we needed to provide for her in order to give her the best life moving forward, especially because we thought she was a 7-year-old dog when we adopted her because she was in such bad shape. And then after we fixed her up, got her teeth fixed and everything, the vet said she's barely a year old. And that was in 2019. She'd be dead by now if she was 7 years old. So she was a puppy, but she was in that bad a shape. So, my heart goes out to you, my dear. And Shem says, Rachel Farber, big hugs and much love. Oh, thank you. Oh, you Bach. They love Bach. I love Bach. There was a radio station, Bach's Lunch, that I used to listen to all the time. It sucks. I just did it over again last week. Okay. And then Susan has some great advice. I'm playing 432 hertz healing music for my cat right now. That's perfect. I love that, Susan. And, Rachel, your voice is so healing and so beautiful that's going to be really beautiful too, okay? And then some patient says, I rescue neonatal kittens. The strong trick, it makes their forever home transition easier for them. I love that. All right, Diamonds, welcome. I'll get your question in. Make sure that you're here for it, okay, sweetie? If you tip, I spend more time on you, okay? I'm kind of lost right now. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know. Well, the cards are good. I'd wait a little bit. I would actually tell the foster, look, I'm actually willing to pay you a little bit because, honey, fosters are always underfunded. They're underfunded and overworked. I'll pay you an extra, however long it takes you to come back from your deployment. And I'm doing this for Moth. Like make it about moth because that's what it's about. Okay. 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 You switched your question to the coffee app. You got it. Some patience. I got you in. Cats are good with classical music. Dogs like reggae. Dogs and cats are just like us. They all have their unique personalities. So, all right. Yeah. Totally email them. That's great. Okay. You got it. Good to see you, Diamonds. All right. Whew. Diamonds, were you born in 1983? Okay. So I'm going to get to the next question. It is the lovely Susan. I am thinking of Monty's admission to secure my base. Yes, Art of War. In the midst of the eclipse and the economic collapse scenarios, should I bear in mind as I allocate funds in the next month percentage of current holdings, keeping in mind the soon-to-be influx in funds? I'm just going to let you know we're headed toward another 2008, according to the astrology. I've been warning people about this for the last 2 years. As Jupiter enters Cancer, he's going to help us out a little bit. But after June 25th of 2027, that's when the second house of the United States and the eighth house of the United States gets affected. What does that mean? The second house is savings, food, what keeps us secure, okay? The eighth house is inheritances, pensions, things like that. That's going to be under attack next. Just to let you guys know, for the last almost 18 months, the third and ninth house has been under attack in the United States. That's journalism, communications, free speech, law, foreign travel and relations, and conditions with allies. So if you've been paying attention to the news, yeah, that's where the eclipses just threw bombs into our lives. It's going to be our money next. So please be aware of that. That's for everyone in the audience. So that's a great question, Susan. I'll pull some cards for you. What Jonathan and I did was I pulled cards, and for entertainment purposes only, our money's been in Marcus Goldman Sachs for a little bit in just a savings account. We do not trust the stock market right now, okay? Because another 2008 is likely to be on the horizon. And I'm worried about Social Security and things like that. Now, Jonathan worked in ashrams for most of his life in like volunteer positions, so he doesn't make really anything in Social Security at all. So it's what I make. And so I'm not too worried about him losing it because it's like we don't have to rely on it because he did volunteer work his whole life. But we rely on work to keep us going. And so that's a big thing. And what you're doing, dear Susan, is you are creating a philanthropy where you are helping people and you're creating real human connections. And that's what people are really going to be craving and needing. So that's huge. That's really going to open things up. Okay. Interesting. But you're going to have to be really careful with what's coming out right now because it's okay. All right. I'm getting some good cards for you, sweetie. This is good. This will help you kind of re-navigate stuff. And like I said, I've got like, God, I think it's over 100 pages of notes on your chart that I put together just because you sent me all that information. It was like, oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Okay, Miss Susan. So the first one I got was Aquarius. This is where Rahu is right now. This is Ask Your AI. This is my Ask Your AI card. AI is really in tune with what the oligarchs are doing. They really kind of help you figure out what's going on behind the scenes, who's investing in what. We look at banks that are looking at other currencies, that are investing in economies outside of Los Estados Unidos, things like that. Do your research, ask your AI. Claude has been a very good friend to you. So start a new chapter with Claude just based on finances. And every single time you try to make a financial decision, get your karma cards out, get your cards out, ask a few questions there, put it into Claude, and then say, these are the banks I'm looking at, these are the investments I'm looking at, these are the things that I'm looking at really putting into my portfolio, because it's going to be a mess between December 5th of 2026 and then for 18 months after that. Okay, so that's where the eclipses are going to hit. Okay, right now I got the Queen of Wands, but she came up reversed. Now this tells me that it's important that you involve other people in your financial decisions and try not to take everything on yourself. It's important that you don't alienate yourself or try to become too independent. You're going to want to invite other people into your agenda, because they're going to help you see things that you would not necessarily know is going on, because that's their realm of expertise. Okay. The reason I say that is the next one I got was the Ace of Wands reversed. Okay, so your current plan of action, there's some blocked creativity or understanding there. Tells me that you're also a little burned out, and it's causing some indecision. You're a little frustrated, a little helpless, possibly. I mean, when I get this, it tells me that, my drive is a little low. Okay, so focus on your root and your sacral chakras. Those are important as you go through this, and invite other people in. Why do I say invite other people in? The main card I got for helping you navigate this energy was the Three of Pentacles upright. Okay, this is about skill and collaboration over status and trying to do everything yourself. Okay, this is about working with others, especially with business and conscientiousness through teamwork. So it's important that you use that beautiful throat chakra of yours, and not just for singing, but also for collaborating, and allow other people in to provide their input regarding your financial status at this time. Okay. All right. Then I got the desire card. Okay. This tells me, let your desires be known. Definitely focus on what you would like to see when it comes to your organization and what you're doing, but don't let it blind you. Okay. Because whenever I get the desire card, it tells me that, this is something that, it's your ambition is very intensified. And innovation comes from thinking differently, because I got that Aquarius card. So don't burn any bridges impulsively. Invite other people into your vision, because that's really going to help you navigate next steps. Okay. And then the last card I got for you is really good. I got the self-study card. So this is Eklavya. And when he appears, mastery is forged. Okay. So this tells me that there is a commitment that you have to this, to your inner mastery. And so doing your independent learning, your skill building, your entrepreneurship is still very much favored. You've done a lot of work and interest in this area, and your persistence will bring recognition in time, even if progress feels a little slow for now. But inviting a team in, inviting people to help you see things that you may not be seeing, because you're a go-getter, you're fiery. Whenever I get the Queen of Wands reversed, it tells me that you are burning yourself out over this. So it's important to share the labor, okay? And also incorporate your self-study and all of the research that you're doing with Claude to help you integrate that into what you need from your team, okay? So there is a financial collapse coming. It's not going to be good. I've been warning people about it for a while. Monte sees it in the sky as well, because we're astrologers. We can see it. But like Jonathan and I, we're not in the stock market. We're not in any risky CDs or anything high right now. We put all of our money in basically just savings until this basic collapse happens, and then we're going to then invest. So that, but again, for entertainment purposes only and astrological purposes only, that's what we're doing. I eat my own cake. So I eat my own cooking, so to speak. So that's the best advice that I can give you. Let's see what you have to say here. I've been meeting with folks today every week to get a good thought circle, board members. That's excellent. I've taken every week very slow to recoup. Yes. Not all of them. Not all of them are secure. Okay. So it's important to really research the banks you're going to, especially if they're small credit unions or institutions. We went with a huge one just to cover our butts. Okay. And I'm actually following There's Marcus Goldman and Sachs, and they have been talking about the collapse of the American economy for a while, if you follow their podcasts, and they're investing in international securities, markets, and middle classes. It's a whole thing. So I do my intellectual study, and then I pull cards, and that's how I do it. Now, we're not going to be there forever, but it's just a placeholder. They're too big to lose right now. If they do, which I didn't get, I got okay cards for them being okay. And again, all of our money is there. We don't have a lot of it, but after Jonathan lost his house and he has very little in retirement because he gave all of his life to yoga and volunteerism, which I know Krishna is going to pay us back for. But it's you've got to be really careful right now because we're going into another 2008. Okay, but it was the middle class at that period. It's the working class in the next period. Okay. Wondering what physical stuff I should buy. What do you think, Jonathan? Are you getting any hits?
Physical stuff, you mean investment?
Do you mean investments, Susan? Okay. I know it's a bad year for stock, goat, sheep here. Oh, okay. I know it's the year of the fire horse, I think. Yeah. Food, building materials. Oh, that's going to get hit hard. It's going to be very expensive after December 5th. So if you want to store those things up, do it now. That's actually, you are so psychic, Susan. Oh my gosh, that's the second house of food and building materials. So absolutely 100% yes. Buy them now, store them in a warehouse or a shed because they're about to get very expensive. Everything's about to get expensive. Honey, the Strait of Hormuz just got shut down. It's going to bring the price up for everything. Because when gas goes up, everything goes up. Okay, the tariffs are also going to be insane. We're also moving into a third world war, which I discussed about 2 years ago, was coming. That's why we got out of Los Estados Unidos and where we were at and everything else so that we did not, because Jonathan and I aren't in the best economic circumstances to handle this. And so we moved to a country where we could afford our lifestyle. I mean, look at our view, and still be okay medically and food wise. Just to let you know, like I can get a giant papaya because that's my favorite food for IBS for just take a couple of zeros off here in Mexico versus in Los Estados Unidos. I can get a giant bag of, because Jonathan loves pasta, penne pasta for like $1, you know. I can get, I mean, it's like living in the 90s again here, you know. It's our bills have gone down substantially, and we needed that because most of our savings would be gone if we'd stayed in the United States. So it's going to get worse, and you were really tapped into that, Susan. Okay, car parts, that's fourth house. We already went through that. But yes, cars will be more expensive, especially if you're buying things like that. Okay. Let's see. Oil and bare shelves. Yeah, that's happening because it's the second house of food. The thing is, it's not going to be necessarily bare shelves. It's going to be expensive shelves. Okay. We're talking like really, and we also have, I actually looked into the astrology and I went, oh my gosh, this is a really weird yoga going on. And so I put it into ChatGPT because I have a little guy there. And I also went to Gemini. It's another one I use. And I said, during this time and this date, which is where I saw the planetary conjunctions happening and the yogas that I saw going on, one is a very rare yoga, what's coming? And they said, well, the last time this happened on this date and this date, which is what I was able to do because astrologers are historians, we had the worst El Nino we've ever had, and it destroyed the crops. And that brought up prices. So we're not only going to go through this horrible gas crisis, but we're talking about crops and failures due to climate change. And so I went online and I looked it up, and we got an El Nino coming, and it's really hot and crazy. So that's another thing that I talked about the previous week is we have really hot, crazy climates coming. Okay, so yes, store up food, do all of that. And yes, I do take super chat. You can just go ahead and tip if you want to. Okay, love, good to see you. And then ox opposes goat and sheep next year, 2027. Okay, thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. I want Daniel to renovate the home when he has time. Some may be scarce. Yeah, that's important. Also know that, I mean, I love your business plan. I think it's one of the best ever because you incorporate Christianity, which is right in line with Project 2025, but then you're going behind the scenes and saying, hey, I'm going to help you out. So it's brilliant, Susan. A lot of people are going to need this, especially women and children, because a lot of those programs are going to get hit the hardest. So, yeah, it depends on the bank, Rachel. Yeah, it really does, because it depends on where the CD is invested. It could be invested in the market. So make sure that your CD is more conservatively placed. That's all I'm saying. Okay, we're just being super conservative because Jonathan lost his entire fortune in 2008. He was a millionaire. He met me in 2010. He was poor. And I don't care about stuff like that. I care about his yogic lifestyle and the fact that he's a really good person. But it was devastating for him because, you know, he is a brilliant guy. So Claude thinks the portfolio coming my way is very good. Augmenting with AI investment, hedging against the dollar as I can. Excellent. That's very good. I know that there are countries, I know Japan, China, and South Korea just came together to create their own currency. That was a few months ago, and they want to supersede the dollar. That's kind of like their version of the euro. I know that the UAE has the highest currency to speak of, but because they're getting attacked right now and at war and their gases and everything else is being attacked, that's a little bit, you know, more questionable. It's in Marcus. It's FDI. Okay, I already pulled cards for Marcus. That's where our money is, honey. So I think you're going to be okay. And yes, love, I do. I said that a little earlier. I hope you caught on to that. So you can just click on the super chat and you can donate if you'd like to. Okay, my dear. All right. Oh, Susan, you are tapped in. Jonathan, and I'm Rohini, which is Taurus ascendant. So getting grounded and secure is one of the most important things for me. And I actually have friends that are in the financial market and everything else. So I'm right there with you when it comes to trying to secure your base. As a Taurus ascendant, I'm like, that's my role. I know I have a budget sheet that I put together every single month. I know down to the penny how much we spend in each category. So, and how much things cost in the United States versus here. We're spending a third here. Okay. Because and that's even including all of his medical stuff. So it's amazing. So, all right. Hopefully the world is okay. We're going into World War III, but you know, I gave you guys some remedies at the beginning. Okay. You're welcome, love. You're going to be after the lovely pink Cadillac. Okay. Okay. Pink Cadillac. Thank you so much. General or career. My date of birth is May 28th. Happy late birthday. 66 if you need to know. Things have been slow on all levels. Long-term relationship, any years. Any potential I should see for future person? Oh, a Gemini. Okay, well, let's look into that for you. Congratulations on 66 years. That is an accomplishment. Honey, I'm missing my turquoise ring. Can you go grab that for me? I just realized I don't have it on. It helps with my throat. Okay. The great thing about Jonathan's Parkinson's is that physically he's okay. Like he can help me carry all the groceries home. He's as strong as he was when he was 20. But it's the dementia, the Lewy body dementia that accompanies it. And we've been really working on his physical health and making sure that all of the medications go toward his mental health. So he's been doing really good. So I really appreciate you guys who have sent prayers and, you know, support, especially when I was sick, because that was really tough. When you're the primary caregiver, it's tough. Oh, thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Hey, got my turquoise on. Okay. Pink Cadillac. What's going on with the relationship? Okay, Miss Independent. Pink Cadillac, how long have you been single, my dear? You're welcome to tell me. Ryan Slade, you can ask a question. Thank you for sending your love to Jonathan. I really appreciate that. Divine timing. Rhoda's here. Yes, let's see. I did get you in, but you're going to be behind some patients. let's see here. Wait, yeah, I did get your question, Rhoda. So, I mean, I got your tip. So go ahead and ask your question. Let me go up a little bit to see if I can get it in there. I don't see it, but I did get your tip. So go ahead. And Ryan, just know that I go through tippers first. Okay, my dear. Okay, I did get Rhoda's donation, Venus. Thank you so much. You're divorced twice, single 3 years. That's why I got the Queen of. I was like, girl, you've been divorced. This is my divorce card. Okay, I pulled this all the time when I was going through my divorce. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. So this tells me that you are Miss Independent, but you have relied on that independence a little too much. No judgment from me. Jonathan was in love with me for years before I even let him in because my divorce was bad. I'm talking like identity change, move to another area, bad. Tried to kill me, bad. Protected by the police because his father was a cop, bad. Okay, so you have been really independent, really just, in charge of your life. You take the reins when it comes to making sure that you're mentally, like you put up a bit of a wall. Like you see here, I'll put it up right. She's got a sound bowl right here in a cage. That represents her heart, okay? She put her emotions in a cage, and she's literally just up in the air looking at everything. This tells me that you've relied a little too much on your intellect and caging your heart in before entering relationships. Again, been there, okay? Especially as an Aquarius moon. All right? You need to change your perspective. I got the Hangman reverse. Whenever I get this, it tells me that you're not looking at things properly because in the past you martyred yourself for other people. You did way too much trying to please others, okay? You were hurt deeply because of that, and that's why you had to put these walls up around your heart, which is why I got that Queen of Swords, okay? So, what do I get about the relationship? Four of Wands. If you're able to open up your heart, this is a celebration. It's a partnership. It can be a marriage. It's not bad. Okay. It could be a great thing for you, but you're going to have to let your guard down a little bit. And that's going to be very difficult because of what you've been through. All right. I usually get absolute crud cards when it comes to love readings, especially in the realm that we're living in right now and all this toxic patriarchy. But this tells me that you need to open up your heart and start trusting people in your life a little bit more, and that will attract love into your life, marriage, and partnership. Okay? That's the main energy that I got in and around your relationship with this particular person. Okay? Oh, let's pull one more. Very clear. All right. Was the person that you were with, did they take advantage of you financially? I got the greed card. This would be someone who was very dishonest with the financial situation and not great. Okay. Oh, you're having financial trust issues. There you go. There you go. Greed card. Okay. It's important that you protect your finances from greed, okay? Protect them. But at the same time, you can test the boundaries of the relationship emotionally. What do I mean by that? Find out who they are and how they feel about money. How do they organize themselves? Are they obsessed with your money? Do they tell you, you need to pay, you need to do this, you need to do that? If it feels parasitic, then back off. If it feels like you're maybe clinging on to a past relationship because they took advantage of you financially, learn from that and then ask yourself the questions that you would have asked that younger self. Journaling helps. What I do is make a column. Okay, go, if you have a notebook, make a column. These are the things I'm looking for. These are the things I'm not looking for. And then create some questions that you can create when you're on dates, when you're talking on the phone, when you're trying to open up this part of yourself, and pay very close attention to how they answer. Pay attention to their body language, how they act about it. I lost my financial identity in my first marriage, so I know exactly where you're coming from. It's important that you don't let it dictate the rest of your life, okay? Both partners left me with nothing. Yeah, I was homeless. I didn't even have a car. Took my car. I was relying on my car, and then I had to move into a storage unit. And then I had to live in the office because they devastated me financially. Okay, I am right there with you. It's going to color your world a little differently, knowing that they can get away with that. So take the lessons that you learned from those relationships and create some questions that you would have asked your lower self, like your younger self, I should say, and do so in a way that is not confrontational, but just curious and interested. Okay, so that you don't rattle the cage a little too much. Okay. Okay. Mariana Isavinik, welcome, welcome. I went ahead and got your question in. Yes, that's exactly what the current long distance person keeps saying. I need equal contribution. Okay. If they're all about maintaining equanimity, that's a good thing. That's a good sign. Okay. If they're like, you got to pay for my plane ticket, you got to buy me dinner, you got to do this. Oh, my sales are down this week. Didn't have a job, made it all up. You know, he was just looking to get my literal social security number and have a party with it. Okay. When you first get married, don't meld your finances. Jonathan did not know my social security number. We did not share bank accounts. We had a completely separate financial relationship up until last year when he got dementia and Parkinson's. Then I had to take over the finances. He trusts me because we've been friends for 15 years and married for a decade. And so we get along really well when it comes to this. But we had separate finances in our marriage because I said to him, I don't trust you. Sorry, I'm going to do my own thing. It actually worked out really well because I took on a lot of fiscal independence. And when he needed help, I was able to bring him into my portfolio and I doubled our money. So it's a good thing when you kind of keep things separate in the beginning. All right. You can still be in a relationship and keep your finances completely separate. Okay. Something to consider. Okay. Okay, Miss Rhoda, got your question in. Preet Singh, got you. Good to see you. You can ask a question. Go ahead. Know that we do tips first, and then I go in order. So we have a long list, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and close questions because we have 17 questions in. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them, but unless you tip, I'm not going to get to your question at this point, okay? Is he trustworthy? We've not met yet. Yeah, meet him. I got 4 wands. Go ahead and do it. I'm serious. This will help you not only with your boundaries, but with the overall way that you see relationships moving forward. Girl, you've learned your lesson. I have too. I married Jonathan and kept our finances separate for a long time. And I got 10 of Pentacles reversed. You have been hurt very, very hard in this area. Keep the finances separate and get to know this person because they're here to teach you something. Okay? They might be going through some family issues of their own when I get something like that, but do not take in people that are just looking for a handout, okay? You'll be able to tell pretty early because you've had this experience, okay? But before meeting them, like I said, create that column, do that notebook, and ask them very specific questions. If you have access to AI, that would be like, you know, whether it's Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT, whatever platform that you use, say, this is my scenario, create a list of questions in an empathic and relationship forward way for me to ask this person before I meet them and create this connection. You got to be careful with long distance because some of these people can be predators, but when I get 4 of Wands, it tells me that you are marriageable. You just have to create those boundaries, and this person is going to teach you something, okay? So, yeah, big question night. If you go to astrologicaltarot.com, I have various rates. Okay. I do tend to put, just to let you know, if you send me your birth information, diamonds, I do between 3 and 6 hours of looking at your chart, studying it. I do full spreads, and then I put together a reading, and then I talk to you about it. So you're not just getting like me sitting here and pulling cards like I am on the show, which is just like, let's go fast. I put a lot of time into each reading. So Sundar, welcome. And you're welcome, Pink Cadillac. Thank you so much for sharing your energy. And thank you, Venus. There's my website. I appreciate that. Know that you're going to get a very, very concise reading from me, and that I put a lot of energy into it. Okay. Boundaries are the issue you touched. He has helped me with speaking up with my needs. Excellent. You got it. Okay. Love it. All right. So, some patience is next. So let me go ahead and get to your question. And then we have love. It's 43. And then we have Rhoda. Yay. It's divine timing. All right. So let me find the lovely some patience. I switched my question to the copy app. Okay. Let me see if I can open it up. What to prepare for? Good news for me that I'm not keyed into. You got it. All right. Let's check that out for you. Some patience. And all of my links are in the description. I spend a lot more time on tippers, okay? Just because you guys help me put food in my fridge. And I appreciate that. Oh. Okay. I'm getting some good ones for you. Ooh. Very clear. Okay. Good news, no towers. Okay. All right. Some patience. Patience, my dear. First card I got, Aquarius. And then it got followed by the love card. What does this tell me? This means relationships coming your way, but in your case, in my opinion, this is a self-love card. This tells me that you need to spend more time doing things that are just for you. You have been giving so much to others throughout your life that it's important that you remember your divine origin. You know, Radha's love transcended form and time and possession. She loved without expectation. She embodied devotion. She was liberated. These are all things that you're stepping into. Okay. So this tells me that emotional healing is going to restore a lot of the balance in your life, especially given that you're coming into another surgery. And a heart-centered practice is going to help with your well-being. So this is also telling me that it's important that you spend a little bit of time on yourself and your self-care. Okay, like love yourself and do things like pretend that you're in a partnership with yourself. Okay, this. I mean, I had to do this for me when I was after my divorce. I deserve to do these small things for myself in order to feel like I'm whole, like I'm here. Okay. The third procedure is outpatient. Yes, that's great. Focus on that self-care, but they're telling me to do something that makes you feel really great about yourself. Okay. This is a little weird, but ask AI about it. You know, like this is what I'm going through. And I mean, even if it's getting your hair done, which was one of the hardest things for me to do, because I during COVID, I cut my own hair and Jonathan's hair. I came to Mexico and it was just like, I'm going to do something for me. I'm going to like have someone else cut my hair. You know, I'm going to, when I broke my leg years ago, I let someone do my toes, my feet, because I couldn't get there because they were all messed up. You know, little things like that. So take yourself out for a spa day. Okay. Make sure that it's in alignment with whatever you're doing health-wise, but allow other people to pamper you. Okay. Do something that makes you feel beautiful, that makes you feel like you're connected to your body again, because you have been thrown out of it pretty freaking hard. Okay. So think of something innovative that you can do, something you've never done before, because that's what Aquarius is all about. Then I got the lovely Page of Wands energy. Look how happy she is throwing that baton in the air. And look, her shoulders are in full range of motion, which is great. You know, I have actually a injury in my right shoulder that needs surgery, but I haven't done it. The reason for that is life. So if you're able, after this surgery, you're going to be able to throw that baton in the air. You're going to be able to get a lot of things done that you haven't been able to before. But the page tells me that you're going to have to start from like when you were a teenager, when you were younger. You're going to have to learn the use of it again. You're going to have to do a lot of occupational therapy. It took me about 1.5 years after one of my surgeries to just raise my arm above my head. That was a huge deal. It was a different type of surgery. I had a double mastectomy, and it took me 1.5 years to do this. So it's a lot, and it's going to take some time to get back into that. Okay, so this is all about love flowing without fear. It's about really enjoying the nuances of your new body and what the surgeons are doing for you, and trying to find a little fun in it. Okay, I love my favorite part of recovery when I had injuries was my physical therapist and my occupational therapist, because I tend to like overdo things, and they coached me through it and helped me through it. And I feel that that's going to be really fun for you, because again, she's throwing the baton in the air. Her shoulder's doing great. Looks like I woke up on the ground. LOL. In the last 2 weeks, I've been able to brush my hair. Yay! That's huge. I remember going like this to brush my hair when I had, it was a whole thing. Or like I would just like put the brush in the thing and go like this. I'm right there with you. It's crazy having to come out of this. And then the fact that you also had your legs involved is nuts. Now, this is where they're warning you. Okay, my dear, this is where the guys are saying, look, pay attention to this. Pay attention to your money. Don't be too giving right now, okay? You have more than enough on your plate. You're a giver like me, okay? I've been screwed out of a lot of money throughout my life, because when someone cries uncle, I'm the first one to go, oh, honey, what's going on? Are you okay? Watch the money, okay? Especially if there's a female in your life that's coming along and going, sob story, sob story, sob story. Honey, you are the sob story of sob stories. Breaking both arms and legs and surviving that along with multiple surgeries. That's insane. Take care of you. Do you. Get your grounded, your base secure, as Susan said earlier. The art of war, keep your base secure. Your base, the number one base is your body, okay? You do you. Don't let women in that are crying uncle and going, help me, help me. If they're asking you to help them knowing your situation, back off, okay? I didn't realize how long my hair got in the last 308 days of keeping it in a bun. Been there, yeah. So now they're talking about the job that's not paying me. Okay, that's it. Gotcha. Set some boundaries there, honey. That's not good, especially if there's a woman in charge of that, because that would be the, okay. All right. Oh my goodness. And you spent half your day with AI. I love that. Isn't it great? It's so much fun. Barbara, lovely to see you, dear. Welcome, welcome. Yes, and you do get rewards on readings. Yes, thank you, some patience. Thank you for being a member. That's why I spend more time on you. And you can still send a donation. Yes, I'll spend more time on you, okay? All right. So I hope that was helpful, my dear. I'm sending you tons of love. And let's see. Speaking of, let's see. Speaking of love, love is next. Okay, and then we have Rhoda. What is coming in for my spiritual journey? Ooh, I love that question. I mean, that's why we're all here. A human birth is very hard to get. So we're very lucky to have taken on these births and to learn what we can from them. Interesting. Now, again, I'm a Vedic astrologer. I have a degree in it. It's a little like people in India contact me for marriage and partnerships, um, remedies, everything. So I am 100% vetted. And I spend hours, like a full day before I give someone a reading, literally looking at their chart, getting all my books out. I incorporate, what I do is, like my last reading, I did about 50 pages of notes because I just go and I put everything together that I see in the person's chart and what's going on in the sky, and then charts because I look at the Varshapal, which is the annual chart and what planets are in charge. I look at the Vimshapak. I look at it's a whole thing. There are hundreds of charts in Vedic astrology, if not thousands. And depending on what they ask, I spend all of that time in that area and in that arena getting it down. And then I put all of my dictorial notes together and I say, this person knows nothing about this subject, help me. And then they put it in English and then I go in and I edit that. So it's 6 to 8 hours of work for an average reading, like an hour reading with me. I go a little, I'm an overachiever. It's my thing. It's Rahu in the third house, Mrigashira, actually first house actually, but yeah, I'm a little nuts when it comes to stuff like that. But so when you get a reading from me, it's a lot. And you get a recording and everything else. Okay. Wow, you got a lot of energy here, my dear. Whew. Okay, so your spiritual journey is vast and great and amazing. Okay. You're learning how to communicate, how to get your ideas out there, who to invite into your circle when it comes to neighbors, friends, and contacts. Communication is one of the biggest lessons that you're learning in your life right now. Okay, love? It's something that you're moving into. Okay? You're healing from betrayal. I got the Three of Swords, but it came up reversed. You can see her face there. Okay, I'm going through this too with family. Okay? This is someone, it tells me that you have a big heart, but it's been broken. You're stitching it back up together again. All right, that's a huge part of your spiritual journey. You're learning as a Page of Wands reversed. This tells me that your actions in the past were well intended, but you were a little naive and taken advantage of. Okay, so you're learning who to give your time and your efforts to without allowing them to become parasites in your life and turn you into someone that they can use as a tool and as a doormat. Okay, you're learning to stand up for yourself. You've had some family issues. You're learning boundaries in this area. You're learning when to say no to certain people, especially if they are taking their sensory wants over your most basic needs. And you're learning to hone in your intellect. Whenever I get the King of Swords, this tells me that he is by himself on top of a mountain with other solitary creatures who take time for wisdom and reflection. This is the sign of the intellect that we call this viveka in the Vedic tradition. It's discernment, it's intellect, and it's also vairagya, which is the ability to separate yourself from those traumas and learn from them on a very introspective and detached level. You've gone through some stuff, love. Okay? It's because you got a big heart, and we're in Kali Yuga, which is the time of dharmic dissolution. What does that mean? People aren't doing the right things anymore. If you focus on those things in your life, you will be victorious. You will come into this battle and win. If you are able to sacrifice yourself for your own development standards, and especially sadhana, which is what we call spiritual practices, satsang, which is good company, you will prevail. And from that, you will obtain a huge, this is my superpower card, realm of supporters later in your life that are going to support you and your agenda and your goals and everything that you bring into this birth. That is a lot when it comes to what's coming your way. Okay. I'm kind of excited for you and what this means. Yes, it's been a long journey, you think? That's pretty amazing. Okay, so I'm excited for you. I'm going to go ahead and change the lights for the next question. You want to turn off the kitchen light? Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. So it has been a long journey for you, and you're doing a great job, but know that you will be victorious. You have a high level soul, and you will be rewarded later in life. Okay, my dear? Okay. Let's turn off this light so that they can see the Mexican skyline. We had the most beautiful lightning storm today, you guys. It was just incredible. I mean, it was one of the best things that we've seen. It's the storm season. Oh, keep that light on, sweetie. You want this one off here, so you guys can see the Mexican skyline. Ooh, there you go. Isn't that fun? It's beautiful. Okay. All right, love. You're always welcome to schedule a reading with me. I'd love to tap into your energy and what you're going through. Okay, my dear? Oh, my goodness. Whew. Whew. All right, our next question belongs to Miss Rhoda. Let me find you, my dear. The most important messages I need to hear right now. You got it. Okay. And then let me go ahead and put a little different lighting here. Now, do you guys like this or do you like cinematic? What do you guys think? Cinematic, or you can see the background a little bit more, or do you guys like bright? This is me playing around with StreamYard. The first one, this one? Okay, you got some patience. Okay. All right, and then diamonds, you're next. Okay, my dear? All right. Important messages you need to hear right now. I hope you're doing well, Rhoda. You are such an achiever, doing amazing things in your life. Oh, wow, that makes sense. Okay. Love that I pulled that one for you. Ooh. Okay. What do you think, Anisha? I appreciate you all so much for being here today. Only here once a week, and I know that you guys can be in other places, so I appreciate that. Oh, Miss Rhoda, you are doing amazing work. You already know that. But the first card I got was Pisces. You are here to do a lot of spiritual work. That's what you came here for. It's fully supported. Everything that you're doing spiritually, and this is also the card for asylums, hospitals, addictions, etc. If I look here, you're part of something overwhelming. That's really what's telling you. Is when people come down here and their emotions, their mental states, everything else that's going on in their life is just so much. You can help them re-navigate because you went through that in your own experience. Okay. Then I got the Justice card. Oh, karma. You are here to really pay it forward. Whenever I get the Justice card, it tells me that you are doing absolutely everything you can spiritually, because I got Pisces, to right the wrongs and to provide balance in people's lives, which is a very good thing to have. The Justice card tells me that you're doing great karmic work. It is really reaching a lot of people. It's helping those really understand how to handle worry, detours, distress, thrift, scarcity in their lives. You are helping people with recovery. This is my recovery card. Upright, this means, oh my gosh, you're homeless and you're dealing with drug addiction and everything else. You are improving their situation. Hard times are behind. Things are turning around for them because of the karmic work, the justice that you are doing for people, and it hits them on a spiritual level. It's what you came here to do. You're doing an amazing job of it. So your guides are doing a big clap in heaven for you, my dear. You are an amazing soul. Okay. I look at the stuff that you're doing and you are so inspirational, my friend. Okay. This is what I got from Whispers of Ganesh. He said, pick me. I got embrace. Believe in yourself and others to discover the deeper importance of your being. You are here to do your spiritual work and you're doing a great job. Recognize that your interactions with others are very important and that healthy relationships, and especially when it involves recovery, are extremely important. In many parts of the world, you can see Ganesha's hugging Mushak here. It's recognized as a familiar part of greeting, in addition to be a manner of acknowledgement. Like, I see you. You're here. It's okay. You know, human touch is something that's going to become more and more rare as we head into Kali Yuga, which is the material realm. And the support and reassurance that you're giving others is so huge. So Spirit is encouraging you to keep your compassionate heart, be nurturing towards yourself and others, because there's a lot to be gained from seeing things from the practical perspective, especially the legal perspective that you can step into. It's very down to earth. You came from a present circumstance where you were able to really pull yourself out of a rut, and you can help other people do that as well. So just focus on creating a balanced life for yourself. Remember that it can be accomplished, especially when you're serene and taking care of you too. Be imaginative and helpful, because that's what I'm tapping into, and deal with issues as they arise. Don't catastrophize. Just be like, you know what? If it comes, I'll deal with it then. But don't let it keep you up at night. Okay. Keep your wits about you as you determine the best course of action when those things do come up, and keep very simple solutions to fix the problem without minimal fuss. So, and healthy relationships mean so much to you. You've never had those before I got clean. I totally understand that. So know that there is an exchanging of energy that takes place when you give and receive at the same time, and you're learning boundaries in that area. So your hugs are healing, your connections are healing. You understand that healthy relationships require a lot of work to maintain them, not just on you, but on their side as well. So, you know, it's important that you take that acknowledgement and that support and that reassurance from other people, and that you return it equally, because you're learning those boundaries. Because when they're breached and when you're dealing with those things, it's just Spirit encouraging you to be nurturing towards yourself and others, and create a more balanced life for yourself in the interim. I'm trying to pray whatever is best for my highest good. Yes, this is for your highest good. You know, you have a really great mom based on what I've seen on Facebook. So, you know, you learned a lot of love and affection from this person. You got a really good one. So the best way to show your support is you're an expert at comforting and consoling. Your mama taught you that. And that exchange of energy that takes place, you were able to give and then receive at the same time. It's going to heal yourself, your family, and everyone around you. So, I love tapping into you, because you are such a brave and beautiful soul. You really are, my dear, and you've come through so much of it. And when I pull Pisces, it tells me that you're just a very sensitive spirit, and that's why you went into those escapism techniques, because Pisces, they tend to escape. They tend to try to like blot it out through substances, when if they learn to deal with it in a way where they project boundaries that are very healthy, and for not only for themselves and for others, they're able to create a more familial and nurturing atmosphere. And that's what you're learning in this birth. And then you're able to take that and help others. So I think you're just a beautiful person, my dear. I love tapping into your energy, and I'm so glad that you're here. Oh, you guys, she's really cool. Oh, okay. You do have the best family. Yeah. Today here, blessings along with the blessings. Yes, that is excellent. Oh, I love that. And yes, dear, I am still live, and you are next. Okay, diamonds are a girl's best friend. You are next. What did the call from him mean? Will he reach out by email? His birth year is 76. Mine is 88. You got it, girl. Okay. Okay. So he just turned 50. He'll be 50 this year. Okay, and you're in your 30s. All right. What is going on in this relationship for Miss Diamonds? Okay. Are you juggling a lot right now, Diamonds? Because I'm getting there's a lot of stuff going on in life here for you. And you need to ground yourself a little bit. A lot, actually. So anything you can provide will help me kind of hone in there. Oh, you're okay. He's 49, I'm 37. He'll be 50 this year, and you're not even 40 yet. Okay. All right. So, yeah, you're all right. So the main thing that I am seeing, and I actually, my first tarot reading that I ever got, I asked about the guy that I was dating at the time. I was looking to get engaged to him, and he pulled the death card. So this is a no. Okay, this is not the person for you. You're going through a lot of transformation in your life right now. You need to reevaluate this. It's not the best for you. He called me during transfer, and I just recently moved across country to be closer and near to him. Yeah, you're juggling all of the responsibilities for this relationship. Now, don't unground yourself for someone else. He's older. He should have made the step. Okay. I'm getting really bad energy for this. When I pull Mudlahara, it tells me that you're not even considering your base needs, and you're juggling a lot to make this happen. Let's see what you have to say. Oh, he's in prison. Girl, what are you doing? You moved across the country for a man that's in prison? You need to sit down and start journaling. You need to start doing some introspective work. Do not uproot yourself for someone who can't even take care of their own. Jonathan, I need you to come in on this one because it's like, I'm sorry, like that is, sweetie, I don't know if this is your photo, but here's the deal. You are not seeing your self-worth. You are juggling way too much of yourself and who you are on a material level, a spiritual level, on every level that you represent for this other person. Okay? And you're the one who's literally, you're juggling his life and you're juggling your life. You get that too, babe? Yeah. I have him chime in. Okay.
She's not.
Go ahead, babe.
Hi, Dallas. My feeling, and it's also based on experience, I'm like, 1,000 years old. You're trying to be everything to everyone, is my guess, and you have an affinity for wounded kitty cats.
Yeah,
so
she's a rescuer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I got.
And so there's this wounded kitty cat in a cage, and you want to help him.
Yep.
Be a pen pal and cut it off there. You have a lot of worth. You need to recognize that. You have worth, but you need self-worth. I'm not saying cut this man loose completely. You can be a friend. That's all you can be if he's in prison.
Yes.
So be a friend. Be be an ear.
Yes.
But you need a real, live human, man or woman. I'm guessing man. That you can be a real, live human woman with.
Yes.
And there are, I don't know, 8 billion of us.
Yes.
So you got some choices, girl.
You do. And honey, is that your profile photo? Look at her, Jonathan.
Yeah. Come on.
For God's sake, if that's you.
Yeah. Again, self-worth.
Yeah.
Self-worth. Let me tell you something. As a straight male, you have a lot of worth to straight males and non-straight females, It's a big world out there. You just need to go out there a little bit. Be cautious. I'm not saying get crazy. Yeah. Be cautious, but be out there. You probably have some friends. My guess is you have a lot of friends.
Yes.
Go out with friends. Have fun with friends.
Let your girlfriends and your boyfriends sort them out.
Yeah. And you can be a friend to this person in prison. You know, you can write him a letter or something like that. I wouldn't do visits.
No.
But write a letter, maybe a phone call, something like that. But you do need to reevaluate your worth because you have worth.
Yes, you do. 100%. You're a diamond. Look at your name.
Amen.
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. Whew. All right. Thank you for putting up with that, you guys. And diamonds, my love goes right out to you. You do not need to juggle yourself and your determination for that. So, wow, that is a lot. But what this tells me, whenever I pull the Mudlahara card, that you need to focus on your self-worth, on making yourself and your base secure. This is the most important thing that I think that you can do for you. You know, 21 is one of my favorite numbers. It's followed me my whole life. It's all about feeling secure in your own being. So know that you can work with spirit to focus on that root chakra, which is what makes you feel secure, what makes you feel like you're here, you're grounded. And that will create stability and inner strength to come from a place of worth, of value, of belonging, of accepting, of trusting. Don't go talking to men in prison, babe. Don't try to date them. Don't try to move for them. I dated criminals. That's why I had Jonathan come in, because my 20s were bad. So when you feel secure in your life, display some good common sense. You contacted the right person for this because he knows, like, I was raised by criminals, so I had to get away from them. It was a whole thing. So I'm right there with you. There's absolutely no judgment in where we're coming from. We're sending you tons of love, and you do need to come from a place of self-value and worth, because, my dear, you are a diamond. Okay, so, and you deserve diamonds. Oh my goodness. I'm doing great, but confused. I thought he was somewhat over, but he called me. That's called narcissistic hoovering. Start looking up, if you email me, it's michelle@astrologicaltarot.com. I'm going to send you some books that really changed my life. They're free PDFs, okay? And they're all about relationships and personality types, especially people that end up in prison, okay? My ex didn't go to prison because his father was a cop. But he still is a criminal. But I can send you some books that really helped me during my divorce, and how to kind of reshape your autonomy and being grounded again. Absolutely free. Okay, so reach out if you feel the call. No pressure, but I'm here to help. Okay, my dear? Okay. Yes, know your worth, girl. Choose you. You got it. Thank you, Venus. Oh my gosh. Yeah. There's a reason he's in prison. You know how hard it is to get in prison in America right now? I mean, you have to be really bad. I'm telling you. Like, protect yourself, sweetie. Okay? Sending you lots of love. Whew, that was intense. Oh my gosh. The call meant that he is looking for someone to take care of him, and you're not a mother. You're looking for a partner. That's what the call is, okay? Okay. Let's see here. I'm just going through my questions. All right. So we're going to start going in order. And Diamond says, okay, I just really love helping and I enjoy the mental aspect. Honey, I was a nurse and a teacher. I was an in-home nurse assistant when I was 15. That was my first job, W-2, because I didn't get a lot of support. And then I also worked through college to get my teaching degree. And I started doing that because I love helping people. Empaths, helpers, people that are reaching out for others tend to get parasitic infections. And those parasitic infections are people that don't want to take any responsibility for their lives. Stay away from that crap. It's not you. It's not who you are. Okay, my dear. Aw, Venus. Look, honey. Jonathan gave great advice. Thank you. Yeah, I felt the need to bring him in because he was part of my healing. Because, again, I did not trust Jonathan for years. We were friends for 5-6 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, before I even looked at him sideways, it was just like, he was a friend. He was there for me. I really appreciated him, but it was just like, I don't trust anybody. And then one day he did a couple of things and I kind of added all of the tallies up and went, okay, this might be someone I can trust again. But boy, did it take a long time. When you've been programmed and conditioned to take abuse for that long and to allow people to just trample all over your boundaries because you didn't know they were there in the first place, you need someone who can turn the light on for you and make the roaches scatter. Okay. What were you going to say, sweetie? What were you going to say?
I said Bella.
Oh, my dog. Yeah. But yeah, my little dog, Bella, was also a huge part of my recovery. So, yeah. So thank you, Venus, for your encouragement. You're amazing. Okay. All right. So let's go in order of questions received. Jean, are you here? Susan Gonzalez, are you here? Angel Spirit Love, are you here? Sybil, are you here? Shem, are you here? Ryan, are you here? And Marijana Ithidik, are you here? Okay. Those are the questions in order. I just thought I'd give them all to you guys, and let's see what's up. Okay, Jean is here, Shem is here, Sybil's here. Yay! Thank you for checking in, guys. I appreciate that. So, Jean, you are first. May I ask what is coming toward my connection with I? Of course you may. No, but I give it to you straight, okay? Interesting. Have you been in a relationship with them before and they're coming back into your life? If you can give me a little background there, because I got a card that points toward you not remembering something. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you can give me a little background on that, that would be great. Okay, Jean. Never been in a relationship before. Okay. Oh my goodness. First off, I got Sagittarius. Make sure that you're spiritually compatible, that you have the same goals in mind, and that your healing is on the same level. That is the best relationship for you. When it comes to Sagittarians, they're all about their physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental health. My husband has a stellium in Sagittarius. It's fantastic. It's in Capricorn in the Western. I get along really well with these folks because not only are they funny, but man, can they heal fast and just like provide some of the best advice ever. Okay. So that might be the best partner for you moving forward. I got have strength. You've been through some stuff, a lot of stuff. You can see half her face is a lion. And she's holding a lamb, which tells me that you have a beautiful empathic heart, but there's a part of you that needs to protect it regarding relationships moving forward. And that involves setting boundaries and really looking at what is best for you, what is best for them, and then setting those boundaries accordingly. Okay, my dear? There's something from you're a Leo. There you go. That's why I got the strength card. That's the lion, the lioness. Okay, I'll let you look at this card. Here's your little inner Leo. Okay, there you are, half lioness, holding onto a lamb. Lion represents the heart. Okay, you have a big heart. You're very loyal. You're very protective. You're very giving. Here's the block in the relationship. Okay, someone is not remembering the past correctly. Whenever I get the Six of Cups reversed, it tells me that they didn't learn from the past. It's either you or the other person or both, and it's creating a trauma bond. Be very careful moving forward with this person. Then I got the Four of Wands reversed. Okay, this tells me not a great match right now. There's a lot of inner work that needs to be done. You need to have strength. Okay. This person's going through a lot of transformation, a lot of healing. It's really important that you don't take on that healing yourself and that you do not let them put their baggage on you. Okay, right now it's not looking great. They're not, you or they are not, or actually both is what they're telling me. You need to learn from your past mistakes and lessons. It's not a good match right now. Okay? You can check in later, but that's the overall energy that I got. But they are hurting really bad. Okay? Oh, he went through a breakup several months ago. Yeah, give it time. That don't. Oh, you have a lion on your. Oh, that's interesting. That's hilarious. So you have a lion, and look at your card. See if I can focus in. Look at that lion, girl. Focus on you. Focus on your heart. Focus on what makes you feel safe and secure and strong. Okay, that's the main energy that I'm getting in and around you. Okay, my dear? All right. He's been sick from chronic illness for the past couple of months. I've always been drawn to lions. Well, girl, you're half one. So the guides came through and said, tap into that inner lioness. You want to attract that for you. Okay, this is not the right person right now. They're getting over their ex. You don't want to be part of that because then you'll just be a rebound. Okay, my dear? Sending you tons of love as you do that. And yeah, tap into that lion energy because it is there. I believe that we all come from animals from past births because, you know, according to the Vedas, we start off as mineral here on this earth, and then we go to plant, and then we go to insect, and then we go to, and the thing is, that's part of our soul's evolution. And we just go through all of these reincarnations until we finally meet a human birth. And it's a soul evolution that we go through. And whenever I pull strong lion-based cards, I'm a Denisha, the lioness, right back at you. And my Venus is in Leo. We tend to be very protective, very loyal. We tend to get along with other females really well. I've never blamed a girl for any of the breakups that I had. Like, I had so many cheaters in my 20s, and it was just like, I didn't blame any of the women. I just looked at him and said, you're in a relationship with me. It has nothing to do with her. I'm loyal to my girls. That's what lionesses are like. You just do you. You be strong. But this is not the right relationship for you right now because there's way too much on this person's plate. And they're going to get hit even harder in a couple of years. That's what they're telling me. Like, really hard with something. I can't tap into the person's energy because they didn't ask me, but they got something coming. You don't want to be there. Okay? Oh my goodness. Whew. He wants to get married and have children. He's been introspecting a lot, figuring out what he wants his future to be. If he has figured it out, it's not your job to figure it out for him. You're a Leo, Sun, Venus, Scorpio, Moon, Rising. Okay. So you're welcome to schedule a reading with me, and I can give you a lot more information regarding that. I'd look at your Navamsha chart, as well as I do relationship readings. I actually just gave, I do it for actual, like, arranged marriages in India. So I'm like super in the circuit when it comes to relationship readings. If you get one from me, on a relationship reading, I usually spend 9 hours of research, and I incorporate AI into that. So it'd be technically like, it used to take me about 3 to 4 days, but since I've incorporated AI to help me with my research, it's taken me less time. So I was able to bring down my rates a little bit. But if you want a relationship reading, if you're really serious about this person, you can contact me for that. But I'm telling you, the cards are saying not right now, okay? Because this person is healing. Okay, my dear? All right. All right, Susan Gonzalez, are you here? Angel Spirit Love, are you here? I know Sybil checked in. You're next. Okay, Miss Sybil. And you're so welcome, sweetie. Sending you lots of love. All right, Miss Sybil, you are next. And then after that, we have Shem. Oh, take your pills, sweetie. That's for Jonathan's pills. Okay, and then we have Ryan, and then we have Mary Jana Ivan. Okay. Okay. Sybil, here you are. How will the summer be for me? You got it. Let's see. All right, let's change this. There we go. Trying to change the lighting a little bit so you guys can see. I mean, it's such a beautiful skyline, you guys. I mean, look at this. It's stunning, you know? All right. I'm a little pink. Let me see if I can get another. Oh, babe, can you turn on the hall light over here? This one? That'll make it a little better, I think. Okay, I think that's a little better. Yay! Okay. All right, Miss Sybil, how's your summer gonna go? Ooh, are you thinking about doing some community service, my dear? Maybe focusing on your health, what's good for you, all those good things? Because they need some work, and you need to bring other people into that. Especially if you're on a wellness plan for your future and everything that you're working on, because that's super supported right now. Ooh. Oh, and you got divine support helping you through this. Okay. Oh my goodness, Sybil. Good things. Okay. Viviani's here. Lovely to see you, my dear. Oh my goodness. I haven't figured out a VPN to comment on your channel, but I've been watching it. So here in Mexico, a lot of us have been cut off from channels in Los Estados Unidos. So I do watch your stuff. It's just I can't always comment because I'm blocked. So please know that for some of my fellow readers. Viviani is right there. She's a great channel. She was trained by Val Dragonfly Crystals for Akashic record readings, and she's a fabulous person. Okay. Oh my goodness. So Miss Sybil, the first card I got for you is the 6th house. The 6th house in astrology represents service. It represents taking care of our daily routines and tasks. It also represents our daily health. That's why I asked you. That's what the guides are thinking, saying and thinking. You know, one of the best times to get into a farm crop or share is during the summer. So if you have something like that in your area, like see all those fruits and vegetables there, changing your health routine, really getting into a more healthy and balanced lifestyle is fully supported this summer, especially if you have a little bit of extra time to put into it, okay? Because your current state of being, your current way of living and being is a little off balance. Okay, because I got the 3 of Pentacles reversed, meaning you need to, there's a lack of cooperation here. You need to invite others into this circle. Your heart might not be in it. There's some trouble there, okay, regarding health, okay? You're avoiding taking necessary steps. That's what's really important, okay? Because it's important that you put more into this. Because you don't want to experience burnout. You don't want to, because, you know, when it comes to securing our base, our bodies are the most important thing that we need to pay attention to. So when I see this, it tells me that you need to seek support regarding your everyday routines, your health, and your lifestyle. Okay, that's what they want you to focus on this summer. That's kind of natural for a lot of people because it's you know, it's swimsuit season. It's when people have time off, like traditionally when we had a middle class. But it's a time where you can really focus a little bit more on you. Okay. Then this is what I got for you. I got that you have divine support coming your way. This is from the Whispers of Ganesh. You can see there's an Om around Ganesha. This is a very powerful tool for bringing focus and awareness and deeper meaning into your life because Ganesha is strongly connected with this mystical symbol Om. You can kind of see it makes the outline of his head. So your guides are ready to share their wisdom, their knowledge, their guidance that's just innate within their beings. And you can cultivate a closer relationship with your guides and any ascended master and divine being that resonates with you, because that's going to help you maintain your discipline as you go throughout this change. Okay, thank you for sharing Viviani's channel, Venus. You're adorable. I love you. Okay, so Spirit's desire is to assist you on your life's path. Know that guiding you away from fear, distress, anguish, and toward the light and love and center of your being, knows that same light which resonates throughout the entire universe. It's contained in this universal sound. Om. Consider chanting this tone, listening to a recording of Om, and that's going to bring out the energetic shift for your health that you're going to need at this time. There's so many great channels. Jonathan, are you comfortable doing an Om? Because he's really good at it. He worked in ashrams for most of his life, and he's got the Om down. Are you comfortable doing one with me?
Sure.
Okay, you want to come over here? So Jonathan and I are going to give you an Om. Okay, want to do it 3 times? Om, Om, Om. 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 That is one of the most healing, resonating sounds of the universe. Invite that into your spiritual practice when it comes to your health and your daily routine, and that will definitely help you. Okay, my dear, I am sending you so much love as you go on this journey this summer toward really improving you and the best you that you can be. Okay, my dear. Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. Yes, true. Oh, thank you, Trey. It's from all the mantras. So it's not me, it's the divine. And then it resets the frequency. It really does. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, we do this every morning for an hour and a half. We do all of our mantras. So, and then we do it at night too. So I know we're really dedicated to it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, earbuds. Oh, okay. Jonathan's responding to some patients. Yeah. Yeah, it triggers a sense of peace. It really does. And you're so welcome, Sybil. Yeah. Oh, we're sending you so much love. So much love. And know that you have the love of the universe as well behind you and supporting you and loving you. You're always supported. You're eternal. You are a physical being in the Mrityaloka, the world where all things die. And it's scary. But know that you're eternal. And then when you come out of this place, you are endless and you are beautiful. Okay, honey? All right. Oh, okay. So, Shem, my dear, are you still here? Please check in. And then we have Ryan and Mariana. Yay. Please check in. Okay, Shem is here. Yay. Good to see you, my dear. I hope you're doing well. A message for you. You got it, girl. Okay, so the other day when you tried to order a reading and it didn't really go through, I got the Emperor reversed and I got the Page of Wands reversed. So that tells me that you're having, the Emperor reversed tells me there's an issue with the husband, okay? He's not ruling correctly. He's upside down and he's got way too much responsibility, but at the same time, he's not ruling right and he's becoming controlling and a little overbearing. The daughter is just not making the right decisions. That's when I tapped into your energy. Okay, now I didn't do a full reading yet because it didn't come through, but that's what I got was your husband is not making the best decisions right now because he is inundated with all this crap, and your daughter is not making the best actions right now. Okay, so that's the energy that I got there. Okay, you can let me know what's going on, but that's what I tapped into. Okay. Oh my goodness, and Ryan's here. Good to see you, sweetie. Oh, and thank you, Trey. That's very sweet of you. All right. Whew. Any message? But that's the main one I got from the other day. Okay. Focus on your health. Focus on you. You know, like I said, it's so important that you set those clear boundaries, my dear. You have good intentions, but it's important that you protect your beautiful energy, okay? Okay. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Okay, let's go to Ganesha because he's calling to me. For you, dear Shem. I'm glad you came back, and I hope you're doing well, my dear. Nazia, good to see you. All right, girl. This is the solution. You do you. This is not your karma. This is their karma. This is the house of service. It's the house of karma. You just create the most grounded daily routine that makes you feel great about yourself, about your environment, and about everything that you are. When I get the 6th house, it's, splurge on the fruits and vegetables. That's hard for me because as a vegetarian in Los Estados Unidos, you're in Canada, which is a little better, but I went to the bargain bin where they were almost rotting, and then I made the best out of it. Here in Mexico, I go down to the market. I get myself the biggest freaking papaya I can see. I cut it in half and I eat it like ice cream. It's the best thing ever, and my colon loves it. Like, do something like that for you. Do things that make you feel really good being in your body, and see this test that's coming your way as an act of service. Okay? Protecting it, learn the hard way. Excellence. You know what? You're not alone. I did too. Okay? So you do have a support system around you. I got 3 of Pentacles. Okay? This tells me that when you cooperate with people that have your back, they can give you solutions to problems that you may not see. Okay? It's important that you use this collaboration, this cooperation, this team to help you see things that you may not see, and then fill in those blanks. You see, there's a couple here, and they're helping plan this beautiful church, okay? And then that church is your daily routine, how you give, how you receive, what boundaries you set. This is going to help you. Group counseling might be a very good thing for you. It might be, I don't know if you're still with your husband, but it's a mess right now because Saturn is right there in your 7th house, and he is showing you reality. And if you don't address the realities in your relationship, it could fail, especially because he's going to be in your 8th house next year, and that's going to cause a collapse unless you address the issues now. If you are ready to walk away, then you need to set those boundaries now. It just depends on where you're at in your relationship and what you're willing to accept and not accept. Okay? Yeah, and I love papaya too. So this is the best way. I got cultivation from the Ganesha card. Cultivation tells me that stepping into music, stepping into something that makes you feel like you're part of a community is going to be really big for you, my dear. Because, Ganesha is playing the Veena here, and that is associated with the goddess Saraswati. She's the goddess of the arts. And it represents, attuning your heart to live with harmony, which is this card, with other people in the world. He's also drumming with a denaro here, and that represents a focused kind of motion and activity that you're doing with other people to fix this area of your life. And he's also forming a yan mudra, okay? That's a focused type of motion and activity. It's a chin mudra. It's a seal to direct your energy and maintain focus. A lot of gurus give us this mudra. It's a gesture of fearlessness to change your daily routine, to work with others to do it, and to invite other people into your life to provide that cultivation, that safety, because it's going to dispel a lot of the fear and accord you with a lot of divine protection and bliss. So know that, music, communication, unity, collaboration, that's going to augment your spiritual expansion. And inviting music into your life, inviting things that are calming, to get away from the excessive electronics, the digital images, and step into a more melodic existence. That's going to really reset you. Like taking time to listen to music. Like Jonathan has a beautiful voice. I'm also a trained vocalist. And so we wake up in the morning, we're trained. We can actually sound good. Like I told him when we're ready and when we're grounded, we could literally have a 4 a.m. because that's when we get up. We can get up at 4 a.m. in the morning and we can do that. We can do a full music practice because that's what he did in ashrams and that's what I did in choirs before meeting him. So shift your energy to that clear, receptive state of music, of community, of belonging, of allowing other people in, and you're really going to reset some things in your life. Okay. You went to a music show yesterday. Well, they're really supporting that. It's going to help you reset you, my dear. Okay. It's going to help you really reshift, your focus and everything that you're doing. All right. Oh, I love that for you. You're ready to walk away. If you schedule an emergency session with me and you let me know what's going on, I'm an excellent resource if that's what you're looking for. Just don't sick him on me, okay? He's laughing. He's laughing because I had 6 women do that in the last 3 years, where I had to deal and I had one guy come down to Mexico to try to get me because he was cheating on his wife with another woman, and it was a whole thing. Jonathan, I mean, you were there. Oh my God. So if you're willing to get some help and you don't use me as a barrier between me and him, schedule a reading. This is me setting a boundary because I've had to set this with women before. So many women. I can help you legally. I can help you on an intellectual level, and I can also help you on a physical level because it is in your chart. If you feel like you were being abused in any way, shape, or form, I've got connections you would not believe. I had to change my identity on a federal level. I am in there, okay? I got the resources. So when you're ready, I'm here. But you got to be serious. This is not for the lighthearted, okay? I'm being very honest with you. I'm coming from my heart here, but I'm also coming from my head. I'm not going to be a sacrificial lamb, but at the same time, I can help you out if that's what you really need, okay? But you got to be ready to take that jump and not put me in between you two, all right? Well, I'm sending you lots of love. If you want to work it out, I'm also here for that. I can do relationship charts. I can show you your strengths and your weaknesses and help you work through that. But if you're being taken advantage of, you need to address that and determine where your boundaries lie. If you feel like this is something that can be worked out, I can help you with that too. All right? I'm sending you lots of love. You're very welcome, sweetie. I hope you're doing well too, Barbara. It's so lovely to see you. Okay. Ryan, you are next, my dear. Are you going through a healing phase? Okay, let's find out. I'm drinking electrolyte water. It's fun after Moctezuma's revenge. It's going on 3 weeks, you guys. I'm telling you. Woo! Saturn aspecting my ascendant has been intense. Ooh. Are you healing from a relationship, my dear? Because I got the 7th house. It's all about getting a fair deal, learning cooperation, maintaining balance in relationships. That's the main energy I got in and around you, dear Ryan. Okay? Oh, you were bullied. Oh, honey. Yeah, you're learning to set some boundaries, my dear. That's the main energy I get in and around you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you were bullied, my dear. Okay. It's teaching you to think a little differently. So yes, you are healing, but your heart is still open to bullying because you need to learn some boundaries. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you for confirming. So the first thing that I got the 7th house. This is relationships. This is how you are a mirror for others around you. This could be all of your closest relationships. My dear, you were bullied. The 7th house represents marriage, but it also represents the other, like you interacting with a person on a daily basis and that person not respecting your boundaries and who you are as a soul. The reason I say that is I didn't get a great card after I got this. I got the 5 of Swords. Look at this big bully. He took away all your thoughts. He caused defeat, anger, problems, lessons, distress. It's a man in this card, but it can also be a woman. Dissatisfaction, a lot of conflicts. You're not worthy of trust. There's bullies. You've been dominated. Okay, get out of the Omega position. At least step up to a beta before you become an alpha, okay? Like focus on really not allowing people to do this to you, especially when it comes to relationships. Set those beautiful boundaries, okay? That's what Spirit is asking you to do to heal because you're being taken advantage of, my dear friend. It's not a good place to be. No one wants to be there, okay? So this is what they're working with you on. I got the Two of Swords. What does this represent? This represents balance, seeking alternatives when it comes to relationships, a chance to rest and have some withdrawal. Spirit's asking you to literally take a step back and look at what does compromise mean? Because there's a lot of avoidance and denial coming from what you want from relationships, what you want from other people. And that's why they're able to come in and bully the hell out of you. Okay. So once this is upside, this is actually a good card to get upside down. This is decisions, clarity, answers found in meditation, making sound decisions. You're not able to make great decisions because you're blindfolded and people are messing with you. Okay. It's messing with your thought processes. It's messing with who you are as a soul because you're not setting clear boundaries with others. It's important to find that balance, but at the same time, maintain your autonomy. Okay. And that's the main thing that is spoken. Okay. You're right about that. No more. Yeah. Spirit's saying, take off the blindfold, look around, start standing up for yourself, and do not allow others to make your decisions for you. You are a grown ass man. Okay. You can make your own decisions and you can set those boundaries that are appropriate for you in that situation. Do not allow others to take advantage of your beautiful energy and your open heart. Do not allow others to use your mental strengths for their wants over your needs. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope you do, because it's important, and that is the healing that you're going through. That's what your guides are helping you with. And I know you can do this. Okay. All right. Okay. And Trey says truth. All right. Thank you for your encouragement, Trey. We appreciate that for Ryan. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now is Mariana Ishavanagek here. Oh, what a cute family you guys are. Will my current issue be resolved this month? Are you here, my dear? Please check in. And you do definitely. Okay. Well, that's what Spirit's working with you on. That's the healing that you're going through. You know, in Vedic astrology, we call this good satsang. In Christianity, they don't treat this too much. Like, I've studied Christianity, I've studied Islam, I've studied Judaism, I've studied Hinduism, I've studied Gnostic. I've studied like everything you can think of, right, honey? Like, I was a writing, rhetoric, and culture major, and religious studies were my favorite classes, including archaeology and religion. That was one of my favorite courses that I took in college. I've studied this stuff. The one thing that they all have in common is it's important to keep what's called good satsang, which is good company. And modern Christianity, modern religion, which has nothing to do with the ancient text, says, you have to forgive me. You have to just keep letting me hurt you because Jesus said that. Muhammad said that. Krishna said that. Fill in the blank said that. No, they did not. They did not say that because I read the books. Okay. I did the research. What they said was forgive and set boundaries and surround yourself with people who have shared values and morals. Otherwise, you as a spirit cannot move forward to your own autonomy and separation, not from the collective, because that's always there, but toward that divine understanding, toward higher ways of being and thinking. Because if you allow other people to drag you down with their wants over your needs, you are going to get stuck in that holding pattern. And that's what I see for you. Okay? All right. What religion do I prefer? Vedantic philosophy. It's not necessarily Hinduism, but this is one of my favorite books. Do you want to get me What Happens to the Soul After Death? It's in the other room, sweetie. That's a good one. It's the Bhagavad Gita by Swami Sivananda. It's really good. I recommend this. Okay, you can get it for free at sivananda.org or divinelifesociety.org. You can also email me, michelle@astrologicaltarot.com. I'll send you all kinds of free PDFs. You don't have to pay a dime. You can just read them on your phone, your Kindle, your tab, your laptop. All of my texts are free. I send them freely. Okay. What happens to the soul beyond death by Sivananda Saraswati is also really good. Again, Vedantic philosophy embraces all religions. It's not about following a specific path. It's all about what's called sadhana. Oh, but this is the other one. This is a huge one. I recommend you start with this one because it'll help you really. This involves all of the religions of the world. He combines every religion of the world and what they believe happens to the soul after death, and then what happens to our souls as we transcend through those various things. And it's not that big. I mean, look, it's not that big of a book. Okay. I can send you a free PDF of this, or you can just go on to what becomes of the soul after death by Sri Swami Sivananda. Free PDF on your browser or your Kindle or whatever, and you can get a free download. I also recommend the Bhagavad Gita. If you haven't read the Bible, there's actually some really great translations I can recommend for you there. It just depends on where you're at in your spiritual world. Okay. And Trey says energy siphoning that's what they do. Oh, excellent. And then, what are your thoughts on the Rosicrucians? Jonathan knows more about Rosicrucians than I do because he actually met them in the ashram. So I'm going to let him talk. Come over here.
Oh.
Yeah, so that way people can see you.
Rosicrucians, this is a real simplification, and I don't speak for Rosicrucians. I'm not one, but when I was in Chicago, I was the director of the Yoga Center, and a lot of other organizations came toward us and said, hey, you want to work with us, et cetera. And so we did. But Rosicrucians are sort of again, I'm going to oversimplify and probably insult both sides of this. It's sort of a yoga philosophy made easy. But you've got to start somewhere, right? Rosicrucian is Rose Cross. So clearly it's a Christian organization, but it's a Christian organization that's based in spiritual philosophy rather than deity worship.
And you said the black guy, remember him? You said that they were shocked.
Yeah.
There's some racism involved, so tell them about that.
I had one of the other teachers at the yoga center, the Sivananda Yoga Center in Chicago, was a black man, he was about my age, we were mid-20s, and the Rosicrucians came by, to just sort of check out another spiritual organization, and they were literally speechless when they saw this. He was a weightlifter too, so he was quite an imposing guy, He was about my height, but he 30 pounds more muscle on him. But he was an asana teacher. He was very flexible, which is, if you know people that lift weights, they are not flexible. This guy could literally reach back, grab his leg and pull it to the back of his head. And they were more astonished by the fact that there was a black man that was studying philosophy that was also very flexible. They just couldn't get over it, But that said, it is based in Christian philosophy, and I'm just going to state my own experience here. At some point, Christian philosophy stops.
Yes.
It just says worship Christ. That's valuable information, but some of us have to go through that door into.
We don't believe that religion belongs to white, blonde, blue people.
No. In fact, there's a rumor Jesus was not white, blonde, or blue.
Oh, you think?
So anyway, now that we've destroyed most of the Western culture, what's left? So anyway, I'm not going to mention Santa Claus.
Oh, please.
We'll let that one go. But Rosicrucians are interesting, and again, I know that you can get 90% of what they have available online free as a PDF, just like if you go to Sivananda.org, you can go through their whole library.
The Divine Life Society.
Just download until your hard drive screams. So, but the thing is, the only suggestion I would give you is pick one of the 40 books you're going to download. It doesn't have to be 1,000 pages. Pick one of them and actually open it and read it.
Yeah.
That's the secret. I'm not kidding. I'm laughing, but I'm not kidding. Open at least one of those texts and read it. And then if you feel inclined, read another one. So that's Vedic philosophy in a nutshell. Yeah,
and I feel like Westernized, Easternized wisdom dating back to the 1700s. I'm not sure how much is modernized or how much is aged. Yeah, we're right there with you. So the way that Jonathan and I look at it is we determine Is this something that can be taught and passed on and shared with others in a morally fruitful way? Whether you're studying any of the religions during this time, know that most of them are based in Mammon, so to speak. Mammon is God. It's Kubera in the Vedic philosophy. People are more focused on wealth. They're more focused on that, golden calf than they are on the divine principles of life. So it's important that you really do your study on whether or not. There's also a book called Sadhana by Swami Sivananda, and there's a whole section on how to find a good guru. And he has like a whole list of things that you ask the guru before even like listening to them. And that's any religion, any spiritual practice, any philosophy. And we haven't found it. So we have our own private spiritual practice that we do from home. And we study texts and we try to help others, but we don't feel the need to push our beliefs on anybody else, because we know that this is a very intimate experience for each of you. We all have our paths that lead us all home. We are on different levels of experience and understanding. Some of it's bhakti, which is like spiritual worship. Some of it's jnana, which is that knowledge, that like wanting to study and figure out spiritual texts. Some of it's karma, which is service to the collective without any expectation of reward. And some of it's artha, which is just really practical ways of helping the collective. So we look at those paths. They're all different. They're all meaningful. You can reach it through Christ. You can reach it through Buddha. You can reach it through Krishna. You can reach it through any point. I even tell atheists, just focus on a flame when you're meditating. That can help focus the mind and zone it in to, in my opinion, the ruler of the universe is every atom of the universe, and we are a part of a grand dream. And we are all connected through pran, which is breath, which is in space. But you have to do a lot of studying to get to that point of understanding. And it involves all religions, all faiths, and all philosophies. So, yeah. And some patient says, I was given boxes of spiritual religious books. Several Rosicrucian books were there. I never really read them over. I felt that they did their own prolific amounts of visuals. Okay. Yeah. And he says, wiser older folks have the best knowledge. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Jonathan will be 76 this year. So he doesn't look it. He looks good, huh, guys? So anyway, all right. Well, I am sending you all tons of love. Schedule a private reading for me. You're not going to regret it. I spend a lot of time on that. If you want free materials, email me, Michelle at Astrological Tarot. I'll send you all the books and stuff that you need to kind of help you along. I tend to embrace all religions and philosophies as long as they lead someone toward viveka, which is discernment, vairagya, which is detachment from the material and a focus on the more spiritual ways of living and being, when they focus on what's best for all beings involved on earth. So if you're open to that, email me. I'll send you a bunch of free stuff. So other than that, I am a Vedantic philosopher, astrologer, everything that you can wrap up into one. That's all I've been studying. So you're always welcome to schedule a reading. Know that I spend at least a day on your chart before I sit down in front of you. So, all right. And you're so welcome, Ryan. It was so nice to have you here. And thank you, Venus. You are the mod with the most. I appreciate you so much. So I'm sending you all tons of love and light. And I will see you here next week with Helen Irish Granny. And I'll also be on her show as well, talking about the future of AI. Sending you all tons of love. Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Love. See you guys next week.
Shanti, light my way, guide my heart through night and day. Karma turns the planet.